In this episode of the Home Studio Show, I'm looking at Serato Studio Free, a free Pultec style EQ and preamp, PSP Infinistrip, free VST plugins, and much more. I'm Zane from AudioTechTV.com, and the Home Studio Show is all about audio tech news and reviews to help you find new tools for your home studio. And just so you know, time codes and links to all of the products mentioned in this video are in the description. Now let's jump into the news. And first up in audio tech news is Serato have released Serato Studio Free. This is fairly straightforward beat-making software for beginners, DJs, and even advanced users. Its simple interface makes it quick and easy to make beats with time-saving features, including BPM sync and one-click key shifting. You get a selection of pre-made drum patterns to help inspire you, and of course you can edit them or come up with your own in the easy-to-use step sequencer. You also get a selection of drum loops, drum kits, instruments, and effects. And you can also use third-party VST plugins in Serato Studio. There are some limitations in the free version, like you can only have one audio track, 4 decks, and 4 scenes, but you can still create great beats and do DJ edits with these limitations. Also in the free version, you can only export to MP3, but they give you some great video tutorials and everything you need to get started. Next up in audio tech news is a new free plugin from Acustica Audio. It's called Coffee the Pun. This is a free Pultec style EQ and preamp plugin. Coffee the Pun is comprised of a 2-band equalizer combining a passive bass equalizer, an active treble section, and a germanium-based preamp. The sound is described as warm and sweet like you would expect from vintage gear. It can shine on vocals, drums, especially snare drum, or the whole drum bus, basses, acoustic guitars, and pianos. Well, that's pretty much your whole band right there, so what can it do? Give Coffee the Pun a download and see what it can do for you. Up next is a new plugin from PSP AudioWare. This is the Infinistrip. The Infinistrip is an infinitely configurable channel strip plugin available in AAX, Audio Unit, VST, VST3, and RTAS formats. The Infinistrip is easy to configure and can be used for mixing, tracking, live streaming, or broadcasting. It's a zero latency plugin, so you'll have no problems using it in live situations or recording with this on your track. PSP AudioWare have been creating great sounding plugins for over 20 years, and this is another great one to add to their list. The retail price is $199, but they do have some introductory offers on right now. This next new plugin release is kind of a fun one. It's SampleScience 80s TV Drums. This is a drum module inspired by the drums and percussion heard in 80s TV shows. They say it's the result of what would happen if you produced drums the way they were produced in the 80s, recorded them onto a VHS tape, then sampled and mastered them with modern production techniques. If you're into synthwave, vaporwave, retrowave, or anything like that, you'll want to give this plugin a try. At the time of recording this, you can grab SampleScience 80s TV drums for just $16. Next up is the release of the Ampvibe plugin from Syntheway. Ampvibe is a virtual rotary speaker effect inspired by the cabinets of vintage tone wheel organs, adding motion and grit to any track it's added to. It comes with 24 presets that are a great starting point for many different instruments. Ampvibe can be great on organs, guitar, keyboards, and e-pianos, or experiment with it and add something different to whatever track you want. It's being released at just $30. And before we get into the plugins worth checking out, I just want to ask if you're enjoying this episode of the Home Studio Show so far, can you please hit that thumbs up button? I really appreciate it, and thank you so much. Now, first up in the plugins worth checking out this week is 2 Notes Torpedo Wall of Sound. This is a speaker and miking simulation plugin. You can put this on a track with a dry amp sound, and this will make it sound like you have a mic'd up guitar cabinet. You can stack different cabinets and swap them out, along with choosing the mics that you want. And until April 30th, 2020, you can grab 2 Notes Torpedo Wall of Sound for free, and it comes with 4 cabinet sims. Don't miss this free download. Let's give it a listen. The next plugin worth checking out is the RetroMod loFreq Classic from Tracktion. This one includes samples from 11 iconic synthesizers produced from 1974 to 1995, including the Oberheim SEM, the Korg MS-20, Roland TB-303, Novation Bass Station, and much more. Each instrument is sampled meticulously and in great detail in order to give you the greatest realism. Let's have a listen. If you want some great deals on premium plugins, I've put 2 links in the description. One is to Plugin Boutique, where they always have big sales on some great plugins, and they also have free plugins on there as well. And the other one is to Waves plugins, which are some of my personal favorite, and you can find the pros using those as well. And if you use the link in the description, you'll save at least 10%, and they usually have bigger sales than that on, so be sure to check that out. Now let's get into the free plugins of the week, and the first one is Coffee the Pun from Acustica Audio. Like I said earlier, this is based on a Pultec EQ and preamp, so let's have a listen to it on a few different sources. The next free plugin of the week is from a company that I really like to promote, as the designer Daniel is a great down-to-earth guy. He creates these great plugins and he gives them to you for free. This is Reflekt Audio Lolo. Lolo is a minimalistic 808 virtual drum instrument that actually contains 20 inspired 808 sounds. Let's have a listen to it. For more free VST instruments, click here, or click down here to see what YouTube thinks you should watch next. If you like this episode of The Home Studio Show, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For The Home Studio Show and Simple Green Tech, I'm Zane. Keep creating, and we'll talk soon.